PJs, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe down below to become part of my PJ squad, which is always awesome. And as always, comment down below what you guys would like to see next, or if you just want to hop down there and say hello, I will be answering as many comments as I can. So before we get started, if you can't tell, I am back to filming in my slime room. Right now, I probably will sound a little echoey. There's really not a lot in this room, but hopefully that's okay for now. And it is a little dim on this side. My left light is not working. I do believe the outlet is not live. Yeah, I think that's what you say. So we're gonna have to figure that out, but for now it's just gonna be a little dim, but I am finally recording in my slime room, so everything's back to normal, so that's awesome. Also, don't mind my nails, they might still look a little dirty. I am still trying to get primer from underneath them. It is so difficult. I take showers like all the time and I'm trying to clean them. They're like stuck. But today I am doing a 5 Below slime review, so I really hope you guys enjoy. So I will say, while I was there, I was trying to find ones that I haven't seen other people review before, but I think I picked one, excuse me, I think I picked one that I've seen Courtney review before. So, like, I just wanted to pick ones that you haven't seen, but, like, at the same time, I wanted to try some that other people have tried just to see if it's, like, if they got a bad batch or if they got a good batch, you know, stuff like that. So, this very first one is from Compound Kings, which is, like, I'm kind of iffy with them because I've had some good ones from them and I've had some bad ones from them, so it's kind of eh. But this one was $5 for a 6.7 ounce, so I think that's pretty good. So I did do an amount of work like off camera with this slime. I know with store-bought cloud slime, sometimes the instant snow does not want to stay in the slime, especially when it's like more of like that diaper filling is what like is kind of like we call it, I guess, because it's like when you add water to it, it just kind of stays like this clear, clumpy kind of stuff, and it really doesn't like to mix into slime. Now, I don't know if they use it because it's like if you use the other kind, it just won't work as well, and it won't like have as much shelf life like store-bought slimes do. I'm not really sure why they use it, but it's just not the greatest because it does leave quite a bit of residue and it does leave the slime feeling wet and sticky. But overall, honestly, this slime is probably the best cloud slime I've had from a store-bought, like from a store, like ever. It still drizzles, you can poke it, you can squish it. It doesn't leave a ton of residue, but enough to like make a difference. Like, you'll definitely notice it. And the scent, like, it's supposed to be scented blue raspberry, and it really, really does smell like blue raspberry. Like, this one's actually really good. So I'm gonna give this one like a 4.7 out of 5 just because of the residue. This next slime is from Toy Smith, and it's this squishy cubes slime. I wanted to pick this one because I've never seen a jelly cube store-bought slime like thing, so I wanted to see how this one was. It is 3.53 ounces, very specific, for $3.25, so I think that is a really good price point as well. So I'm actually pretty disappointed in this slime. I probably had like high hopes that are just way too high for this type of slime, but it is really interesting, to say in the least. It has an interesting texture. It definitely leaves like this wet residue on your hands. It's just like a very slimy slime, if that makes sense. Like, it feels slimy, but it's not like goopy, if that makes sense. It does stretch pretty okay, and it's like the opposite of most putties that you see. The more you stretch it, the stretchier this becomes. The jelly cubes aren't as satisfying as I thought to pop them, because they don't really have like any air left in them, probably because of how long this slime has sat after it was made. But I think if they just made this stretchier, I think this would have a lot of potential, and I think this would be like really popular, because not a lot of store-bought slimes have jelly cubes, and I think it would be like a really popular thing if they could like really get a recipe down and just make it a really good slime. Overall, I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5. So this is the last slime I am reviewing. It is a starry slime with magical mixums, and this is by the Concoction Factory. I've never, I've heard of them before, but I don't think I've ever tried a slime by them, so it's gonna be really interesting. And I just thought this slime was really beautiful because it is a clear slime with some add-ins at the bottom. I don't know, for some reason clear slimes with add-ins are so cute. Like, I love them. And this is a 19 ounce for $5, so you really can't beat this price either. I think this slime was the biggest disappointment out of all three. So I definitely had really high hopes for this one as well, just because of how like absolutely beautiful it was, and the price was amazing. But as you guys can see, I can barely stretch this thing without it breaking. It's definitely more of a putty slime, which is very common with store-bought clear slimes. But I think at this point, like, I think when store-bought slimes were first a thing, we were a lot more lenient with how they felt, because it was more of an experiment. But now I think, now that we've come out with things like Elmer's Goo, where there's clear slimes and it has amazing stretch to it, I think slimes like this don't get as much like leniency. So yeah, like, there's not much you can do. It looks really cool to have all those glitters like suspended in the slime, since it doesn't move, which is really cool, but like, you really can't do too much to it except hold it and maybe poke it. Now, the price was great, but I think when it comes down to like how like not stretchy this is, and you know, it kind of limits what you can do with it, it's not as awesome as a price. I think it still is a really good price point for it, but just for what you can do with it, not so much. So this one's going to get a 2 out of 5. So with that, that is the end of my video. Let me know down below which slime was your favorite, and if you've tried any of these and like what you thought of them. But with that, I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next video.